us right now our music coordinator, Conobar. And I'd love to hear a little bit of words on healing words and also introduction to your song.
Absolutely. I think it's important that we realize that our speech has power, and we can use that power for negative or for positive things, and to be able to heal is one of them.
Done in the past involving other international courts. If the provisional measures orders go against Israel, then I suspect one or more members of the Security Council of the United Nations will bring another resolution to the Security Council demanding an immediate ceasefire, making reference to the provisional ruling made by the International Court of Justice. And then the United States will be in the difficult position to determine whether it's going to veto for a fourth time over the last 3 months another resolution calling for a ceasefire. I suspect that there is provisional measures ordered against Israel. Israel and the United States may try to find a peace-saving way to end the operations without reference to the ruling by the court, and try to limit any further international diplomatic damage that both countries are suffering because of this ongoing war.
Very interesting. We'll be keeping a close eye. Michael, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Michael Link is Associate Professor at the Faculty of Law at Western University in London, Ontario. He's also written extensive reports for the United Nations on the role of international law regarding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Snow is flying in many areas.
Never needed, so I can totally vouch for the healing power of music.
Qu'est-ce qu'on vient d'entendre? Chaud l'hiver. On the cut, so westbound on Highway 1, just after Mountain Highway at the bottom of the hill there, a bus is currently sideways and is blocking the left and middle lanes. There are currently no good alternate routes. Keith Road, Main Street, and also Mountain Highway, the places where you can normally get off of Highway 1 and maybe go around, all extremely congested right now. So those are no-goes. We're just going to have to wait for crews to come by and to get that bus sorted out. Thank you very much, Richard, for the call and letting us know about that one. Please be safe out there. We're seeing some heavy delays on the Lionsgate Bridge as well due to an earlier crash at about mid-span in the only southbound lane. The crash has cleared, but southbound delays still remain, especially at the north end. Highway 1 at this point, both directions, through the cut, through to the Burnaby Lake stretch, very heavily delayed due to the weather conditions we're seeing outside, and it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing that ease anytime soon. But the big one right now, visibility with the snow right now, it is harder to see in front of you, so make sure you've got your lights on, all lights, headlights, and taillights. Drive carefully and make sure you're creating a good follow distance between yourself and the vehicle in front of you. More traffic in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Steve. You're going to be busy today. It's amazing how quickly things can change. I was outside just at 2 o'clock, just started to see a few little flurries beginning to come down.
At the drop of a hat.
At the drop of a hat, and it doesn't take long before the buses, and then it's a trickle-down effect. So, yeah, be safe out there, and we'll be... clearing overnight. Once the snow dissipates and we see things clearing a bit, we're just getting the first taste of that frigid air that will be walloping us here on the west coast. That Arctic outflow warning is still up, and we will continue to see those temperatures well below seasonal average, well below zero. And then with the wind chill, for example, tonight it'll feel closer to minus 20. So obviously, this is very dangerous for a lot of people. And to that end, with this cold spell in the forecast and the snow already falling in parts of the lower mainland, there are many agencies preparing to help the most vulnerable, including those at Union Gospel Mission. To speak more about what they're doing, we are joined by their spokesperson, Nicole Mucci. Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
So obviously we just have to look outside the window to see exactly how important shelter is. UGM has overnight shelter spaces. What kind donations. When you say, proper shoes, are we talking boots, waterproof? What is it that you're looking for?
So one of the things that's most important, obviously, is to have waterproof shoes, because in Vancouver it can go from being kind of snowy to being wet and
Right.
slushy and really terrible really quickly. So anything that's waterproof, anything that doesn't have holes in it, insulated, is important. But definitely the most important footwear is waterproof footwear.
All right. And what other services do you have, when it comes to telling people who might need support that there are services out there to assist them?
So UGM is, we've been around in the downtown east side of Metro Vancouver for over 80 years. We have a men and women's recovery center. We have hot meals. We serve over 800 meals every single day in Metro Vancouver, lunch and dinner. We've got our 92-bed shelter, and we have a lot of other programs, including case management, where our case managers work to try to help people find housing, or work with Service Canada to get important documents or information. We try to help them figure out we aren't medical professionals, but we will try to work with them to get connected with the right folks who can help if they have different complex needs. And if somebody maybe isn't the right fit for one of our programs, we do try to work with them to find them a program that will work with them.
Earlier this week, police and park rangers began removing residents in tents from opposite